Yep. And so, look at that gorgeous bald-headed man. Jesus Christ.
This old thing,
Yeah. Serve, bitch.
this old thing, a little ring light, a little
Ay, por
powder.
favor. He's got good skin and he's 500 years old. All right. So that's Chris. Chris, I was telling them about you and how I know you and whatnot. So we
Perfect.
were just talking shit about you, really. Um,
Perfect.
and we're already recording, guys. So believe me, I'm gonna get right into it. Um, and so Danielle is my sister from another planet, another Mister. I mean, Danielle knows the core of me and probably where the bodies are. Also, Danielle's father made sure we had tickets for Alicia Keys,
Jeez.
January 22nd, 2002, opening night of her first ever tour, Wallingford, Connecticut. Driving, you know what, the episode's on and going, welcome to Los's Lounge, and I'm going to get into it right now. I have such a fucking boner right now. You just can't see it because of what's about to go down. Let me just finish my story. Um, and so I really don't have a boner, by the way. Um, oh, but if somebody wants to give me one, that's feel free. We'll start the
I don't
episode
think I'm
there.
capable of doing that, but
Um,
whatever.
I don't know. These days we need to catch up because let me just tell you, on this side of the tracks, it's no luck.
Right.
All right, no, but seriously, listen. So we drove to Alicia Keys, and I had a 1981 Toyota Corolla Tercel. Right, the models weren't even split. AM radio, no cassette tape. It was right, Danielle. I almost called you Alicia. We got there right before the show started, and Glenn Lewis was her opening act.
Oh, he was. That's right.
And so, with that said, uh, we saw the show. It was her first night of the opening night. It was incredible, and I mean, it was just phenomenal. We had lounge. We were in the lounge. The
Mhm.
lounge. Look how we're coming full circle.
Oh,
We were
yes.
in the lounge. We weren't even 21 yet, so we couldn't really drink, but we had a private bathroom. You see what I'm saying? I can take a shit peacefully. I just can't have a Budweiser.
Right. Don't have to stand in line. It's fine.
Right, right. All right. And then so we're family, Danielle and I, pretty much. Down to mom's whole cooking, like spending overnights. It's just whatever. Sam, mom, dad.
Home videos, home recorded
Don't start
videos.
with that. And then there's Renzo, who is my pimp. Now, it's been tough for everyone financially. It's kind of like a hoe out, help me help you.
Mhm.
We'll get
And
out
so
of the
we're just
recession soon enough, brother. It's okay.
we're almost there at our goal. We're almost there. Renzo, as everyone knows, and I'll get back to as well as Chris, has been blessing the show. He is the star of the show. It's really Renzo's lounge. It's just my name on the marquee. And we've formed an incredible friendship. And God bless you for doing it with me again. So Chris is here. Chris has the best joke on the planet, and we'll end it later with that, but put a pin on it. Not only is he a comedian, he's a former co-host, real quick, because we did do an episode, right? Before here at the lounge. You can check that out in season 2, I think. It's been a while. Chris Surretz, producer on. Can I say things or no?
Yeah, you can say things. I won't divulge too much, but you can talk about my
Right,
place.
right, right, right. Right.
Yeah,
No, I won't, just we
yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
producer extraordinaire on the Sherry Shepherd Show, former producer and part of the art department at the Wendy Williams Show. He has done many, many creative projects. He is dipping and doing it. He's in New York City, boy, whatever. But you live outside the city, don't you? It's in Jersey.
You, my latest apartment, I can see
Oh, you
Manhattan.
moved.
Yeah, I live outside of Manhattan. I'm in Jersey City, but from my window, I can see Manhattan. So the best way to see Manhattan is to live in Jersey. That's what I say.
Sounds
Nice.
like Sherry Shepherd's paying him very well. Shout out to Sherry Shepherd. Shout out to Wendy Williams. And before we start this episode and we get into this incredible episode I have constructed for the guest panel and it's not just the fucking movement. This might be backwards. This might be backwards. How do I fix this? How do
No,
I
it looks
fix this?
good.
It might be
Right.
reverse, but that's okay. You get the message. Free Wendy Joan Williams. You know what I'm saying? Listen, because if it's not a message, then we forget about the messenger. And right now, the messenger, which is mother, needs our help. So free Wendy Williams, get involved, sign petitions, keep that a conversation piece. Shout out to you, Wendy. ¿Cómo estás? Okay, Wendy, I'll put you on the back of my for good luck. All right, motherfuckers. Welcome to Los's Lounge, season 4. The fuckery continues, available on many platforms. Bold conversation, truth-telling, storytelling, culture talk, music talk, politics and politics, and everything in between. I mean, it's like think about this show as like a crazy playlist. Like it's gonna take you from the Wu-Tang Clan all the way over to London for the Spice Girls, and then a little bit of everything in between. You see what I'm saying? These are my co-hosts. Yay! Renzo back in the building. Danielle, Chris. Hey, listen. Before we begin, I would like for everybody to say just a quick sentence. How do you feel today? And also, if you want to share your social medias, feel free. I'll let Renzo start off. Go ahead.
I feel exhausted. I actually caught a stomach bug on Sunday. So today's
Oh,
the first day in 2 days. I mean, I don't want to be a drama queen about it, but it's the first day in 2 days I can lift my head up under my own power. So I'm feeling exhausted, but great. Happy to be here.
Well, you look so thin and gorgeous, so
Thank you, Chris.
where you can get them.
I
ah,
was I was like, it
wait a minute. Let me give you the right one.
was a horrible Monday.
Oh,
Oh, you got a soundboard now, Carlos? Okay.
it's a low budget show. I don't know if anybody can hear it, but it's out here. No, I'm joking with you. Well, listen, I was trying to do it on the laptop. I used to do this back in season 1. I had sound effects. It really adds a different layer. All right, we don't need them today. Thank you for your honesty. I do hope you feel better. If you end
I
up
do.
throwing up on camera, yo, just wipe it off like a gangster and just keep talking, man.
I'll try not to, brother.
We need
Go,
ratings.
go viral.
Right. Danielle, tell me how you
Got
feel,
it.
my sister.
I'm feeling okay, I guess. Trying to survive this perimenopause. Um, yeah, it's like that. So
There's a
I'm
sound
at a
effect for that.
listen, I'm at a point in my life I need to protect my peace. And so I'm good. Today is a good day. God is good.
Oh, oh, it said hallelujah. You know, it sucks. It's really low budget. I give up. Chris, tell me how you feel today, my brother.
Super great. Oprah Winfrey once said the key to her success was that every time someone asked her how she was, she said she was wonderful. And then one day she became wonderful. So I've taken that, I've tailored it. Super great. Super great. Happy to be here. Another super great day.
Absolutely.
I don't believe him. Something about that. I don't know if it's the Oprah quote. Maybe she lied to you, but that's
Uh,
not how life works. All
well,
right, Cristina over there. No, I'm joking with you. I'm really joking. Look, if you follow his Instagram, he goes on incredible travels. Recently you went to.
I was in Thailand. I just got back 2 weeks ago. Did
Oh,
a little stint in Thailand, just a quick jaunt to the other side of the world. But yeah, I was in Thailand for 2 weeks. The way our production schedule kind of broke down this year, I was able to get 2 weeks back to back, which production world doesn't happen often. So I took full advantage and I went as far as I could to really see something new. And it was a super great trip.
Excellent. Well, welcome back. And we have so much to discuss. And shout out to the Sherry Shepherd Show and everyone over there. I have one thing to say, and then we'll move on. And shout out to Wendy and the whole team and whatnot. But Chris, after so many years, I mean, this realization happened last year. I realized that the person that says all these years, the what lady,
Yeah.
is Marco.
Yeah. Yeah. Marco,
Damn you, Marco.
for those who
Damn,
don't
he does it good too. It's a good one. All right.
guy on Wendy. He's now the hype guy on Sherry. And he's honestly the best at what he does. He truly is incredible. I've never seen anyone who really gets a crowd like he does, and he's really original. But yeah, you can hear him off camera. He has a really great talent of going super high pitch and sounding like a woman.
And was
So,
consistent for 12
yep,
years, like
and
crazy.
ever see the comments, you'll hear people be like, "Who is that lady screaming?" You're like, "Oh, that's Marco." Who, by the way, is like 6 feet, jacked out of his mind,
Oh my God.
great in man.
As Wendy used to say, bourgeois,
Yeah.
bourgeois, just bourgeois.
Uh,
All right. Well, speaking of Wendy, I'm going to take her off my shoulders, and I might look like a referee or a baseball. I don't know what the little league is going on, but we have fire topics, and we do have to do a culture check-in here. Let's just get it out the way. Diddy.
Oh
Right.
God. I knew you were gonna
Oh,
go there.
Danielle, take it away. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm over
So,
it, honestly. I'm just over it.
well, let me
It's
ask you, let me be more specific. Allow me to be more specific because we obviously let's not repeat what's already been said and whatnot. I just want to
Mhm.
get your own personal thoughts. And so let's reframe that. Just the idea, right, of there are actual victims out there. An example,
Right,
Cassie, and I'm sure God knows who else. All that
right.
was put to light. Um, and yeah, they didn't get him on the big charges, which is quite interesting.
Mm.
Um, I heard Sonny Hostin say, I think it was that they should have focused more on uh, the victims and the abuse and the trauma and that effect. In any case, my question to you guys is, yes, we're exhausted. My question to you is, how many years do you think he should get for what he was charged? Okay. And then does he go away afterwards?
What do you
What
mean
he
by going away? Would he get
like,
his
should he
life?
go away? I'm sorry. Should he just go away?
Should he just go away?
Yep.
Um, as far as like how much time he should get, I mean, you can't really put that into, I don't know, 10
All right.
years?
You're the judge. What would you give him?
Would I give him the same as R. Kelly?
Because the max is 20. Keep that in mind for these
20
charges.
years?
Yeah,
I would give him the max, 20 years.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I
I
would.
like it.
I would definitely give him the max of 20 years because he has to be held accountable for something. And then when he comes out, I kind of feel like he'll do the same thing. So just keep him in there. Like, just, yeah.
All right.
is the 20-year max? Is that for the charges that is that for all the charges that he
No,
was?
for the ones that he was actually
Yep.
charged for, which was the sex trafficking, the prostitution.
Was it? I thought I didn't know. I wasn't sure if it was sex trafficking.
He
I knew.
didn't get sex trafficking. He got prostitution only. Two
Oh,
counts.
Prostitution.
my
Yeah.
apologies. Look at me spreading lies on here on the internet. Jesus, Joseph, sorry.
I think he just got prostitution, and I think I read somewhere that it might be like a 2-year thing. Like that, like his sentence would be like for that kind of crime, it's like 2 years.
That's crazy.
To that, I
So,
say,
so he'll be out like in a year, in
what
2 months.
makes it to that. It's just just another unfortunate circumstance of a man in power abuses that power.
Right.
I saw what Sunny Hostin said too. I had seen that clip going around where she said she thought that the um, charges that they were trying him for were not the right charges. That she, not that they weren't the right charges, she would have taken a different approach
Right.
because the charges that they had against him are hard to prove. So there's other ways to kind of get him on things that are at least easier to prove in court. I'm sure they're horrifying, but at least they would have been easier to prove and then make a stronger case. So, I think it's just another day in America.
Renzo, thoughts?
So he's not getting, there's no minimum for the charges he has. So it's up to discretion of the judge. If it were up to me, it's difficult for me to say because I haven't been keeping up with this. Ever since they stopped showing as much, I'm like, this guy's gonna get off for whatever he's gonna do. My sister's the one who normally keeps me up to date. She kept me up to date through the whole Johnny Depp trial. And even she was like, fuck this. We don't, it's difficult because the first thing that I discussed with my sister is we think Cassie's life is in danger. Because when somebody who has a Nero complex, a Caligula complex, gets off, he feels untouchable, right? If he did all of these things, right? I wasn't there, I can't see, and I try to live my life in a way where I don't judge people. But if he is guilty of the things he is accused of, even if he's just guilty of what they have on tape, which is beating her ass on tape, which is horrible. Let's not devalue that just because it became sensationalized, right? I would give him the maximum penalty that I could as a judge because you have to protect like if he's gonna get off, maybe even with time served, he can get off in 2 months, maybe even less. And if he again did these things, and if he feels empowered, all these ifs, those people are in danger for speaking out. And I'm starting to see news stories saying like, "Oh, Cassie's setting the president." No, we're not doing right by her. We're not doing right by any of these people that have been affected by what he potentially did. And that's not even addressing the rumors that tie to Justin Bieber and underage,
Oh
minors,
God,
etc.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
sorry.
yeah, and should he go away? I mean, I'm just angry I can't. I mean, like the memes that come out. Like I also want to say like talking shit with my friends. Yeah, I can't listen to Victory anymore. I love Victory. I used to, that's part of my workout mix, right? But we're already trivializing making jokes about, lube and baby oil and all this stuff. And it's just as Chris said, it's another day in America. We're moving past it. We're making a joke out of it. We're taking away the significant impact it has. So I don't know what he should get, but if I was the judge and I had all that information in front of me, I would make it a point that there should be some accountability.
Well said. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on. So my next question to you is, which is actually a perfect segue. Have we become numb to everything in America? Have we become numb? Because this is just one thing, right? Think about gun reform and all the shootings in school and whatnot. Think about, and nothing ever really changes there. It seems like we're just a numb culture, which maybe I don't want to say everyone, right? Because we don't want to generalize, right? But it seems like we're becoming numb. Um, where it's got to be more than just an Instagram post or a Twitter post or whatever people are using these days. So have we become numb? Have we become numb? Like the numbing cream that I put around my ass?
For what? What are you numbing your ass for?
That's the next episode.
Yeah.
That's
You got to live your life, man. You got to let yourself feel.
yeah,
Oh,
man. In
yeah.
these times of distress, I need to relay, release, and relax. Danielle, have we become too numb to the bullshit?
I don't think we've become numb. I think we're just used to the bullshit. It's like one after another. And it's like because we're dealing with so much, it's just we've come accustomed to it. We're like, oh, again? Okay. So I don't think it's us being numb. I think we're just starting to be a little less quiet, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Here's what I think. I think that we have now more than ever so much access to information, and what headlines are catchier? Something sensational and bad and traumatizing that's going to get a lot more pickup than the good news. That's why most media outlets carry most of the news. If you watch the news, there's not a ton of good news. Maybe every once in a while, or they segment it so it's like, oh, today's good news is going to be 3 minutes long because for the rest of the 57 minutes, it's not the best news.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we're necessarily desensitized to it. I just think that there's so much of it.
Right.
You don't have time to process it all. You don't have a choice. You can sit there and just feel the weight of the world on you, or you can kind of acknowledge it. I mean, everything in the world now has to be interesting in 3 minutes or less, including feeling.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And to add to you know what? You're out here with the bald head. Let me join you.
Desensitize. Get rid of it. Get with it.
Um, perfect. Losa's Lounge available everywhere. Don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube. There is also now a Twitter, dear Jesus. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah. And here's the thing, like our brains are only processed or created, right? We're only supposed to process so much information on top of being playing on apps. Like sucks. Danielle, do you remember when we were in senior year of a high school? We thought we were the shit if you had a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
those Motorola's, those Nokias. Ew.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. The Verizon on Parker Street, you
Oh,
remember?
oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
and or a beeper. Jesus.
Was Sidekicks out then?
No, it was
It
beepers.
was a beeper. I think I had
1998,
the turquoise clear one that you could see on the inside.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was AOL chat.
How I thought you were all my age. How old are you that you all had beepers?
44.
43.
Damn, you're 43. I didn't know you were older than I am. Oh, I'm
Oh,
30. I don't know what a
oh,
beeper is.
thanks.
You'll have to educate me.
41.
Oh, whatever.
Who's 41? Renzo, you're 41?
Yeah.
Yo, the skin is giving. Everybody's
Dang.
skin is giving. I might have a filter on my thing, so that's why it's giving today. Actually, I do have a filter. It's
I put
glowing.
Vaseline on today, so
Well, you got to moisturize every day. Nah,
Hey,
but the point of the matter is that it's crazy. I was saying I'm sorry. Let me just go back and just finish my point. I was referencing. Do you remember the old times, the simpler, right? But
yep.
think about there wasn't social media. Also, those, damn man. I mean, we were just happy to have DSL connection
Ooh, the
and an
dial-up.
AOL account.
Right.
Renzo, did you want to speak on that? I felt like you were going to say
On
something.
your AOL account?
or your DM.
No, I thought you were going to add to the
No,
or
no,
that
I'm
too,
kidding.
whatever you want to speak on.
No, I think we are becoming numbed. I think Chris said a couple of things that I definitely agree with. I think the world is information overload. That's why stereotypes exist. You have to be able to process all of these things, right? That come to you, which makes it easier to be, to have prejudices and have stereotypes. Like I don't mind for people to think that I dance well just because they walk around and see me being Hispanic as an example, right? But there's a lot of negative things that go along with it. In terms of are we becoming numb to it as a society? I do think so. I personally believe so because why was there a George Floyd if we already went through a Rodney King? Why
Mm.
are we going through, if Columbine existed, if the Oklahoma bombing existed, then why are we going through these things again and again? And we just move on as if it doesn't happen, right?
Mm.
Some of us don't. Some people protest for all, and then until the new thing happens, until the new thing happens, until the new thing happens. And, when we talk about my poetry, I'm always talking about create, 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 because in a culture that depends on consumption, creation is a revolutionary act, right? And maybe we can start, I don't know, like if that was a family member of mine, a friend of mine that something happened to that was abused by Diddy, for example, or is in Alligator Alcatraz right now. I live in Miami, for example, right? Like I know it wouldn't be over for me. But people make a joke about, oh, the alligators are going to eat the immigrants, and then you just move on, right? Until the next sound bite, until the next joke. I'm not trying to be a downer here for today's episode, but it's just
No, 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 no.
based on the question, I do think we're becoming numb. And if that's the case, and we're aware of it, it's up to us to take steps to sensitize ourselves again, care about things again, feel other people's pain, empathize, you know?
I'm not sure the point I'm making with this, but did you guys see the headline that this 4th of July was the first time New York City has had zero shootings or murders on 4th of July?
Wow.
No, I didn't see that.
So you're all reacting the same way I reacted, which is wow, that's surprising on every level. On one level, the fact that that's news, that to me, and then on the other side of that means so every year in history, someone has gotten shot and or murdered on the 4th of July in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's crazy that like I feel two things at the same time. Like one that's newsworthy, which is I'm glad that it is, but I'm also devastated that it is. So kind of going to Renzo's point, that was a headline. We will forget that at the next tragedy here in New York, and that won't matter. That one good day is not going to matter because of the speed at which we learn things and the speed at which horrible things are spread around, and you can only care about things for so long. It's just kind of becoming the societal norm to just move quickly.
But I'm glad it was positive news. It wasn't necessarily like a downer, We
Right.
need some of that now because
Yeah.
of
So
what's
nobody
going
got
on.
punched randomly. Nobody got pushed. Nobody got bitch slapped. Because I can find something, I'm sure, on Instagram. There's
Oh,
always something coming out of New York City. No, I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you. That's uh, New York City. Like the last time we linked up, shout out to everyone in New York City and New York. But I remember just having such a huge affinity for New York City in my younger years, especially coming out of high school. And but the last time I went, thank God we got to hang out because it was anxiety city. Like from the minute I got there to like just being by myself, and then I walked from uh uh what's the place called? Not what's the other one? The Grand Central. Grand Central. From there all the way 32, 35 blocks to Union Square. Who walks? I could have Ubered. But it was sensation overload. And by the time I got to see Jennifer Lewis, I wanted to jump off of the Brooklyn Bridge.
mm.
Let,
But then Spencery,
let's also let your audience know that I don't remember when that was. I remember that we met up and all that, but I remember it.
September 2022. How dare you, young man?
What month?
September 2022.
It was a hot September because I remember being like sweaty and gross. It was horrible outside. And you were in a full sweater, layered up. And I was
Yeah, I don't
like,
know why, but I had my Sade sweater, which she commented on, so it worked.
it worked. But for seeing you and being like, this is, and you work 35, you walk 35 blocks. A clear telltale sign of someone who's not used to New York City.
Listen, it was crazy. All right, let's keep this moving along. I went to therapy, and even my therapist said, boy, just drink. It's perfect. So if you need a good therapist, I can recommend mine. Our next topic. Oh, another thing on the news that I just want to talk about that I really want to get into. Maybe let's give it a good 5 to 7 minutes. Is the bill that passed, and I don't want to necessarily repeat what the news and what everybody else is hearing, but um, I'll start it off like this. For me, it's a little worrisome just because there is a lot of like federal cunts. Jesus Christ, I can't even be serious. Federal cuts and a lot of programs, right? So we look here in Western Massachusetts, there was an asthma program that was, or funding for the asthma program. Here in Massachusetts, as I mentioned before, we live in the valley, so all that air stays very low. For instance, when you have wildfires, it kind of tends to linger on just 4 days after than what it needs to, or just stick around. Um, I say all that to say, so they cut funding for that. They're cutting funding for Planned Parenthood, this, that, and the other. I say all that to say, my jobs, what I do, all three of them, could easily be wiped out. Danielle, maybe you can identify with this, um, I'm sure Chris will be okay. Hopefully, his Sherry's ratings stay up and good. Shout out to you, Chris. But you understand what I'm saying? Like it impacts us. So it's scary to sometimes wake up and be like, damn, I hope I have a job today. But that's the reality for myself and other Americans. What are your thoughts on that, Danielle?
I'm actually not personally myself impacted, but knowing that a lot of programs are being cut. And my dad has been a community leader,
Yeah.
working for the Urban League, which is a national foundation that supports a lot of programs for senior citizens, for youth, for any any group imaginable. And so my dad has worked there as long as I've been alive, 44 years. And to know that my dad's job is in jeopardy right now, and he's been there for 44 years, is hurtful. It's hurtful to know that because these programs are going to be cut, the senior citizens are going to suffer. Um, it's a sad situation to where, my dad is being impacted and he's been a pivotal part of, that community. And so
Right.
it's just, it's
And his
mind-boggling
career
to me.
on radio as well, too. Let's be very clear.
Yeah,
And just cuts are being made in those areas too. New England programming
absolutely.
media, what have you, all these yeah,
And
it's a sad time.
that's his life. That's
Right.
his legacy. Like
Right.
I don't know anything else about my dad besides being so involved in his community and providing, services to these programs. And to know that my dad's job is in jeopardy is just hurtful for me. And so, yeah, I think it just personally impacts I think everybody in a way differently, but it definitely is making a drastic impact on a lot of people.
Renzo, what say you? Are you sexting over there? What's going on?
No, I'm just looking up some numbers for this bill because I don't want to speak out of turn.
You're so good.
I
Just studying right there on the. I
it
appreciate you,
blows
Renz.
it blows my mind. It blows my mind, right? And when I hear about Danielle talking about her dad, and I mean, I had a lot of friends that work for USAID, for example,
Mm,
right? And they went from having jobs to having nothing and having to scramble, and then also being worried about the underserved populations that they tried to cater to and assist. I just, I don't, I'm trying to understand how this is good for the economy, right? I'm trying to understand how the tax breaks for the top 10% helps everybody else out. And then you just say, hey, we're not going to tax your tips. We're not going to tax your wages. But the top 10% are going to capture 80% of whatever benefit there is.
mhm.
Our deficit is going to get around 3.2 to 3.6 trillion
Trillion?
dollars. I mean, do
Yeah.
you know what trillion? Like it just we can spend so I don't know if I can earn and spend even 1,000th of that in my
Okay.
entire lifetime if I was an army of Renzos, right? And that gets added to the primary deficit over 10 years. Our debt grows by negative 7.7%. Our GDP drops by zero point 0.3 in a decade and around 4.6. I don't know how that helps us. I don't know how cutting all this money to SNAP, to children who are hungry, to people who need help, and then reverting it and redirecting it to a private police force, which is basically what ICE is right now, right? I don't see what the benefit is in that. I can imagine what the benefits are on that for certain people, but I don't see how it helps the country. And what's interesting to me about this bill is that it doesn't matter where you are on whatever side, right, of the argument, the midterm elections hinge on the outcomes of this bill. And the analysts do say that there's going to be a short uptick for the middle class in the immediate aftermath of the tax cuts, but that's going to go way down. So I'm interested in seeing the attention span of the people who are going to vote in these elections and see if like, oh no, I'm good. We're great. We're still waiting on the eggs and gas to go down, right? So it's
Are people still waiting for egg prices? Go to Aldi's for God's sakes, people. I've said this on
yeah,
an episode before. I'm not even
I go
gonna
to
repeat.
Costco's.
But see, there's options, you guys.
yeah, yeah. I'll end with this. The fact that it's called the big beautiful bill hurts me
So disrespectful.
here. As somebody who's gone to a school in my lifetime, it hurts me right here,
Yeah.
right? But anyway, I digress.
And as somebody who is big and beautiful, like yourself, Renzo, how
Oh,
dare
you
they
know,
use that in the tone of Wendy Williams? How dare they?
I
Chris,
slimmed down.
that snatched honey. Chris, go ahead, take it away.
Um, uh, yeah, Renzo, a really eloquent way of breaking down that math. I feel like the point of the bill is to keep the most vulnerable. It's as simple as that. That's what it's designed to do. That's what it will do. Um, and yeah, it's just what what will happen next is unpredictable in this kind like we everything I feel like we are in the most unpredictable times. I mean, if you look at the last 2 weeks, bombs are dropped, this bill is passed, like I can't tell you where we'll be in a month. I can't confidently say like, oh yeah, but in a month things are gonna be fine. Or to Renzo's point, by the midterm elections, things are gonna like there's it's unprecedented chaos every single day, and everything that's being done is to really make sure that that gap between the 1% and the rest of us stays as wide as possible. And the bills like this that are going to keep getting passed are just more and more proof of that. And terrifying. It goes back to your your sensitivity or whatever the word is. I can't think of it. Um,
Desensitized.
there it is. But it goes back to that, which is we roll with the punches, and there's things that we could do. There's action that we can take, but we have to stay diligent with this, and vigilant, because these things are going to keep happening. And you don't think the big beautiful bill is going to become the big beautiful way of life, whatever next slogan he's going to slap on a hat. Like, this is just the beginning of it. So, if we want change, we have to make sure that we are out there when the midterms come, and just stay on, just stay ready, do what we can do to try to change things. It's like, I don't even believe myself as I'm saying it, but like, that's what we have to do.
Well, I want to keep something in mind. I did look up some other numbers too, right? It was approved narrowly. In the House, it was 218 to 214. In the Senate, it was 51 to 50 with a VP tie, right? With Vance breaking the tie.
I mean,
so it shows some unity.
Vance.
Vance. It shows some unity, but it's drawn widespread opposition. It's had some Republican, Congress members pull back on it.
I think there was two. There were
Three. I think it was three. Yeah, that pulled back on it. So again, the midterm elections will matter in terms of this, right? Just based on those numbers, but it also, the amount of people who vote in the United States compared to those who can vote is a fraction.
Great.
So I'm hoping, to Chris's point, and to something Danielle called out before with her dad, like, I'm hope that the people start realizing this affects us and go out and vote towards that. I understand that this is in place right now because people wanted to change from bureaucracy. I get that. I hope people voted. I'm not going to get into that. I do understand that there are reasons why we are in the situation we are now that we need to address. It's not that clear cut, but we need to be able to work on the infrastructure of our country, just like the reduction in NASA, in terms of funding for NASA alone, that has led to so many of the things that we use right now, microwaves, right? Like anything of the technology that has been brought in by space exploration being completely cut. When I have friends, by the way, who work for JPL, who work for other places, that money that they're stopping, that money has already been spent. So they're just throwing away the projects. So, it's like you have a TV, you used it twice, and before you have a party first, you just throw it away, and $5,000 going down the drain, $3,000 go down the drain. That wastefulness is concerning to me in terms of the efficiency of the people that are right now in charge of dictating policy, because a lot of them wouldn't have been qualified before, because you have people who are not doctors dictating policy for health. You have people who are not economists dictating policy for the economy, right? You have people who haven't served in the armed forces dictating policy for the military. That is unprecedented. I wouldn't go to my grocer to take out my spleen, just as an example, right?
Right. I would go to my grocer for all the wonderful meats.
All comes back to meet with you.
All right, let's switch gears on over summer 2025. Every year we know there's always like a soundtrack, a playlist to our lives. One of my favorite summers I can automatically go back to is summer of 2005, when Missy Elliott dropped Lose Control. 22, maybe 23-year-old Nissan Altima, 1999, moonroof that wouldn't open, but whatever. And you couldn't tell me any, and I lived in West Hartford. You couldn't tell me anything. Um, what are some of your favorite summer playlist songs? Give me at least one. Somebody drop one.
Of 2025?
Just in general, man. What takes you there? What does it remind you of? What are they at the lounge?
I am not the right audience for this question. I am a big old theater gay. My Spotify, yeah, exactly.
Yay!
Appreciate it. my Spotify is, I'm still like on a heavy Glee rotation. Like I'm not the right one, but I'll tell you this. They just,
Lee,
they just did a, they on PBS they released Next to Normal, which is a Broadway show that was literally life changing. I saw it was maybe my second or third Broadway show that I ever saw. PBS filmed it. They did it in the West End. They just released it. You can watch it. You can stream it on their app. So that's what's been on my heavy rotation. There's a real nostalgia kick for like Broadway nerds. But so nothing that's lighting up the Billboard 100, but that's honestly my vibe lately.
nah, if that's what you rock with, that's what you rock with. Respect to that. Danielle, what's the summer playlist song?
I don't really have a summer playlist this
Danielle,
year.
don't let me down like this.
I
Jesus Christ. It's
really
your first time
don't.
on the show,
I'm
Danielle.
still in my like Janet Jackson bag. I'm still in,
Perfect.
I'm still in the old school hip hop bag. Like that's just I think I'm always gonna be there. Like the music that I hear today, and please don't hate me when I say this because I know people are gonna say something about it, but I'm sick of Beyonce. I don't want to hear no more Beyonce. I'm done with Beyonce. Now, I know they said I saw this like little headliner talking about Beyonce need to retire. I don't think she need to retire. I think she just need to sit her ass down for a second. Like keep our monies in our pockets for a second, honey. How like when do you spend time with your family? When do you spend time with your husband? Like let Blue Ivy sit down for a second or let Blue Ivy do something and you sit down. Like I'm done with Beyonce for this summer. I'm done. Sit down,
Interesting.
girl.
I kind of want to tell Madonna to go sit down too, and she's about to drop Confessions on a Dance Floor Part
But
2.
Carlos, that is your girl.
I understand, but I'm tired of paying money to see these hoes and the idolatry behind it. I don't
Honey,
want to
you've
burn
been
in
seeing
hell anymore.
Madonna since 1995 at
Next time we argue about Madonna, I'm gonna quote you, Carlos.
No, I'll definitely buy a ticket to the show and be front row ho.
front row.
Please, please. I'm trying to like gather up my funds to go see Janet in Sin City for September. I want to go for like 3 nights and make two out of those nights, or at least one night. But I want to do like a meet and greet experience, and those tickets are like 1,500.
I love my Janet Jackson, but
But if I can meet Janet
she's
and
been
do the
on
ugly
some
cry,
like
perfect.
clothing Muslim shit.
Well, let's get to that real quick. And this wasn't part of the conversation. Somebody was in the same room with Janet. Am I not right? Were you the day that she was on your show? Were you off that day with a cold or were you in the building?
No, I was there. I'm always there. Cold be damned, I'll be there. Yes, I was in the building. I did not produce Shannon when she stopped by. Um, I don't really focus much on celebrity content anymore for the show.
Okay,
So I do have some celebrities that I produce. It's a whole career
got you,
shift. Um,
got you.
but I was in the building. I did
You
see
were in
her.
the building though.
I did see
You can
her.
smell, you can smell the royalty and like
It,
like Wendy would say, you can smell the money.
yeah.
You can smell the money.
It's awful to say because I listen. I know exactly how fortunate I am. I never downplay like my career. I've been very lucky. Going into literally September will be 15 years in television, working in television. So I'm very, very, very lucky. But you met one, you met them all. I
Mm,
much as I love, and I love them. Listen, I obviously to
I
work
understand.
especially in daytime talk where celebrity, is the basis of the show. I love celebrity. I love celebrity gossip. But the people who make me most excited, it's not the Janet Jacksons. As much as I respect and think, obviously an icon, it's not the icons because they're so amazing. You get to meet them, but you meet one celebrity. I don't want to be such a downer, but I'm like the ones who have made the lasting impression on me are rarely the ones that everybody thinks they would be. Do you know what I mean?
I understand. I remember Charlemagne the God said he fans out over Judy Bloom, right? So that's kind of like for us,
Exactly.
that sounds normal because we know how dope Judy Bloom is and her writing skill in the books, like Fudge and all that. Please get out of here. But it's interesting to hear that's who he would fan out for or whatnot. Hey,
Yeah.
let's get a little bit more reflective. Something that I wanted to ask in our next segment called the Real Talk Roundtable. There's no sound effect or theme song. On this
Get it
real
together,
talk
girl.
around or like sound transition, we're gonna get into a heavy chapter here on a book I've been reading. It's called The Dragon Scales, and it's really changed my life. And Danielle's face. You've read this to the kids? Oh, Pookie. That's not what we're talking about today. Get over and grab a fucking tissue. Are we doing enough to protect women and queer voices in our friend groups? I see Renzo shaking his head. I want Renzo to kick it. Or actually, Renzo, put a pin on it. I'm gonna redirect this. The only woman in the room should go first.
Am I protecting women and queer in my friends group?
Are we doing enough to protect women and queer voices in our community, in our friends group, in the community? What do you see? What do you feel as a woman?
Um,
Do you feel protected? Do you feel secure?
uh,
I'm
as
sorry,
a
Medea.
Black woman,
Oh, oh, okay.
no, I don't feel protected. I don't feel secure. I don't feel safe in any space that I'm in. So, um, do I feel like I'm a voice for women and queer? Yeah, I do. I'm always trying to protect them, and my friends as well. Yeah, I don't know. As a Black woman, I don't feel a lot of security, um, right now, anyway, especially in these
Mm,
times. So, no. Mm-mm.
Runs, did you want to speak on that?
Sure. So I was shaking my head no because again, like everything, I'm not trying to make it all into a 7 minute soliloquy, but first of all, do they want to be protected, right? Because I don't want to be out here just taking power away from people or mansplaining shit when I don't have to, right? Like in a way, like, oh, do you need to be protected? In already implying that they are weaker or whatever, right? But I will tell you some situations I've been in where I felt like I could have done more.
Mm.
So
Mm,
when I've been out, for example, with colleagues at we go out and we're in a consulting gig or we're traveling for work or whatever it was, and we're out there meeting the clients or other executives or whatnot. I'm there with some female colleagues at the bar, and then somebody would come and from the other company or whatever, and they would introduce themselves to me and refer themselves to me for everybody in the group. And I'd just be like, okay, cool. Instead of being like, no, this is X person, this is that person, you can address them directly. And that's something that I could have done. Right. And I didn't get it until one day I had a conversation with my colleagues and they're, have you noticed this? And I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. So that's a situation where I could have done more. Or when I was younger, I was working at a company where a lot of people thought I was gay because I took care of myself. I was clean, didn't smell bad, and wouldn't sleep with the older female executives, right? And
you
what I
you
would
didn't want the
do,
old tacos?
it's not that. It was just they're married, dude. Like it's not my
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
And it's always taco. No, I'm kidding. That's a Carlos response. It's always Taco Tuesday. No, no. But what it was is I would say like, no, I'm not that. And then later I'm like, why do I care? I'm not offended by it because being gay is not offensive. I have a lot of good friends in my life who are gay. Not everybody's trying to sleep with you. It's your desire, it's your thing. And I could have just been like, okay, instead of having that initial response to be like, oh no, I'm not this. Right. And by doing that, I helped create an environment where people might be more hesitant to say whatever they want to say. So those are things that I've noticed in the past and that I've taken steps to correct. But now I just try to create an environment where anybody can feel included, anybody can feel comfortable. Where I am, if there's anything attacking it, I will address it. But I also don't want to, step on somebody's own power. It's all communication, right? Just if I see a friend of mine getting attacked and I realize that they need help, I'll be there. If I see somebody creating an environment that's not somewhere where I would feel comfortable, if I was any other thing, I would be there too, or try to change it. But it's complex.
I want to stop going after Renzo because the
Hey man, he skipped me. He skipped me for the music. He wasn't ready for my playlist, so it's okay. It's okay.
I feel like I have to follow up on like this like beautifully eloquent thought and whatever. If he's not even gay, like, and I'm supposed to come here and round us out with this whole brilliant thing. I don't fucking know. Probably not. Are we doing enough? Probably not. The answer is historically, we have not. As a society, we do not do enough for queer and black people. Women, we don't do enough for that. Like for anyone who's not a straight white guy, we're not doing enough. Is it nice to see some more voices out there in the world? Yes. The opportunities are still not enough. They're still skewed. So we're not doing enough. In our individual friend groups, that's a different story. I don't know. I'm the gay in a lot of my friend groups. So I don't feel like they're mistreating me. I don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of. So I think that's good. But yeah, as a whole, yeah, probably not. I mean, it's a safe bet to think that, like, yeah, the rights are not even yet. We're not. And
The
sorry,
fact, yeah. Sorry. Just to add, like the fact that you had to ask that question, I think shows that we don't. As a society, we don't, right? That it's still a question.
I agree. Well, I have a different opinion. I mean, I do. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you guys say. But to your point, Chris, when you mentioned how, you're usually the gay one, and I mean, I have really close gay friends. Shout out to Gary. Shout out to Brandon. But everybody, like, shout out to you. But everybody lives like my close ones, like that I can really respect, and just people that I just really admire, that are just real with me. But everybody lives far away. Um, you guys know my dynamic with Harry, who is the co-host of the show as well too, and Jasmine. Shout out to them. I don't think I did a shout out to either one of them at all during this episode. Um, but Harry was a perfect, and we spoke about this on previous episodes, so I don't want to repeat too much. But Harry was a 19-year-old boy when he met me. I was 28, maybe 27, and I was his first gay friend. And here we are, 15 and a half, almost 16 years later. And that's my brother, you know what I mean? Do I feel protected? Um, I don't really view or go through life like feeling like queer protection and I'm rainbow and all that, because I feel like I did that all like 25 years ago. So my protection is my job gonna fucking be there tomorrow? I don't care about all that other stuff. That's a whole different conversation. Shout out to the rainbow, shout out to the LGBT community. Um, I don't want to get Candace Owen on you, but
yeah, I mean, I'm
because
gonna.
it's just this new generation that just makes me go ick. But that was a different question. That's a different thing. Go ahead, sweetie. What were you gonna say?
No, yeah, no, it's probably a different question. I think that we have to be careful about splitting hairs. You may not totally understand what the 20-year-olds are going through right now. They are more adventurous, they're more exploratory, which is great. They're exploring the spectrum, and maybe they are only gay for a day, or maybe they're trying, maybe they'll kiss a guy, but and not do anything ever again. Maybe they'll kiss a guy and they'll go straight back to dating women or whatever the case is. But I think it gets a little dicey when we start putting our group into another box and start saying, well, my gay is this, but that gay is that. We're all the eyes of the lawmakers and everyone. They don't give a shit if you're 20,
Right, right.
if you're 60. There's talks about them gay marriage. That's going to affect us no matter what kind of gay you are, whether you are the 20-year-old who is doing the most or whatever you feel like is a different version of the gay that you are today. I'm around a lot of older gays who kind of feel the same. We're like, oh, pronouns are ridiculous and whatever. Listen, the generation before us thought what we were going through, everything that we said was ridiculous. Oh, gay marriage, why do you have to be married? That's ridiculous. Can't the two of you just live together forever and that be it? Everybody's going to think that the next generation has got some weird ideas, but if we start pulling at that thread, the sweater is going to come unraveled real soon. So I always try to say, like, yeah, maybe I don't really understand everything. I'm now 36, so things are a little bit different. My social circles are a little bit different. That stuff changes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make a 19-year-old Harry feel like he can't speak his mind and his truth just because my truth was different, because our world was different years ago.
And there's well said. And that's why I said that's a whole different conversation before I go anywhere else. However, I do feel like I don't feel like anybody's protected right now in this country. Never mind gay, you know? I mean, I think it's all of us right now, and I think we're really seeing that. And I think, in my opinion, a lot of people that voted for Trump are seeing that too. I saw the video. I don't want to laugh. I'm sorry. I'm too mature for this conversation. But I saw the video of the Janet. Did you see that on Instagram? Where the Janet who voted for the Puerto Rico the band, no, 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 Trump, and then he ended up like deporting the guitarist, which was her husband, and now she
What
like
the
feels
fuck?
all. So I say all that to say I think we're realizing that ain't nobody safe right
Ain't
now.
nobody safe out here.
Ain't nobody safe out here, especially when it comes down to. That's all I'm going to say on top of that. But to Chris's point, yes, that's very true. We're still going to get into another discussion around that different episode. Um, you know why I say that, and I just want to cap this off because it's not even the new generations. It's people our age, Chris. They crazy out here, man. They crazy. It's a scary time.
That's not a gay thing. That's a people thing.
Oh, no, I have examples. I just don't want to keep that conversation going. And that is a people thing. Yes, you're absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Damn it. Whatever. All right. So listen. Ew. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
typically play this game at the end, but I'm going to throw it in right now. And then I have another game for you guys. And then we have one more segment. And this is the one word association game. And so, Chris, you've done this with me. Danielle, this is your first time here at the lounge. Um, it's easy. I throw one word at you. You tell me the first word that comes to your mind. I have four words. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm just sipping on water because as I talk a lot, like I don't know about you guys, but my mouth gets super dry. And it doesn't help that I smoked a blunt before we started recording. So my first right. Hey, free Wendy Williams, motherfucker. You know what? I'm gonna start with this. Freedom, everybody. Does anybody want to take it? That's your first word today, freedom. Renzo's answered this, I think, before. Danielle, freedom.
I can only say one word.
Just one word, first word that came to your mind.
Is
Freedom,
non-existent.
freedom.
Is non-existent one word?
I'll take it.
Non-existent.
Yeah, because there's like a dash that separates it.
So it's
So
a
it's
one word thing, right?
it's fine,
It's a
Danielle. Don't
word.
overthink it. There's no
It's a
Okay.
there's
word.
no
It's a
prize.
word.
There's no prize that's gonna give you sent your way
Sorry.
or anything.
Okay.
It's a word. You're good.
It's a word. It's a word.
Freedom, non-existent.
Freedom, Chris, give it to me good.
Choice.
Ooh, I like when you talk like that. Renzo,
Cultivated.
cultivated. You spelling bee champ. Oh shit.
You just can't take it for granted. You have to work at it every day.
Um, connection.
Love.
Ooh. Does that have something to do with that rock on your finger?
Oh, knock it off, please. No.
Whoa. Ouch.
No. Just
Ouch.
love.
Just love. Chris.
This is not one word, but the New York Times. Do you guys play Connections? I'm obsessed. It's the first thing that popped into my head. I'm obsessed. I haven't played in a couple days, so I got to get back on my shit. But that's what I thought of.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
It's
Uh,
a game. Go to the app. Go to the New York Times app. It's Connections, Wordle. It's
it's
Okay.
my commute games of choice, and Connections are four groups of words that are all jumbled, and they're all connected in the most bizarre way. But it's
Got
actually
you.
I'm not a paid spokesperson, but I do recommend it.
All
do
right.
you try to get the purple ones first?
I don't have a real strategy other than trying to get a perfect score. So I'll just go with what I can. But I think if you can start with the purple, you're Renzo. Something tells me you start with the purple. I'm not at your level. I'm just trying to win.
Come on.
Yeah.
No.
Renzo is our eloquent speaking him.
And let's
I'm
let's have
sorry,
it.
I'm having a breakdown over here. I'm having like fog brain. All right, one word association game.
That's
Uh
twice you've called me a pimp.
well, I mean, all right. It's getting ridiculous. Culture. 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 Culture, culture, culture. Don't think too long. You think long, you think wrong.
Culture. I don't want to go first. Chris, you go first.
Ah,
And
what did you say, sweetie?
important.
Ooh,
Important. Renzo.
Joy.
Are you still
exciting.
sexting over there, Renzo? Is there something going on that's more important?
No,
Are
He
you,
I'm
are
said,
over
you
here.
like,
and
are
so
you
stop
receiving
that.
like,
Hey,
I
I'm
said, did you not hear joy? I said joy.
no, I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. Let's play a game
Don't
of
tease your
keep it or
pimp.
cancel it. I'll name a trend, a person, or an idea, and you'll tell me, do we keep it or do we cancel it? And if anybody wants to tell me why, feel free. Keep it or cancel it. Social media.
Keep it. Should I
yeah.
explain why?
If you want.
I mean, that's where I get all my stories from and what's
Old
I'm
ass
I'm
heifer.
nosy
You
as
knew that we
fuck and I
used to
need to
have
see what's
like
going on with other people.
newspapers and magazines. The old ass.
That's where most people get their information from, is social media. They don't go watch 22 News or
Yeah, man.
they don't do all that anymore. They go right to Facebook, Instagram, and all that to get their news sources.
Bucks and whatnot.
Keep it. My life is
Keep
not better.
it.
I want to see what everybody else is doing.
See, we're nosy people.
Well, there's
Not
another
me.
aspect to it.
Cancel it.
Do you guys have this thing where you like, for example, like I have my family, my mom, they send me, we talk through Facebook Messenger. I have my international friends through WhatsApp, and I have like a core group of friends that I have around an activity. Like I'm a big wrestling fan. I'm also a big Broadway fan. So I have like groups on Instagram and we send each other memes are a love language. Can't
They
send it
are.
on social media. So
Did you see there's a thing that there's some study. I have one friend in particular that was like the core of our friendship for many years. We just sent each other memes back and forth every day. It was like maybe a conversation every 3 months, like a quarterly check-in. Otherwise, it was memes every day. And there was some study or some researcher said that it's the equivalent of it does matter because what it says to your brain is that that person found something that you liked and shared it with you. So
Just
it was
thinking about you.
exactly, it's the equivalent of going to a store and you see something crack and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to buy this for you. So it triggers that same emotion. That's,
Yeah.
we've always been friends, but now we're the closest we ever were, just because, again, at the different phases of your life, things kind of shift around.
Yeah.
But yeah, for literal years, we kept that friendship warm by just sending culturally relevant.
yeah.
That was it.
It's the evolution of the mixtape, right? Like I was big into making mixtapes for my friends, for people that I cared about, girls I was dating, and then now it's like I'm a Michelin-starred chef curating a 12-course omakase meal of memes for you. You know what I mean? It's very carefully done. So
Yeah.
keep it.
I guess I'm the only one out. Bye.
What?
I send you memes, bro. You send me memes too.
I get it. Bye.
I got this
Bye.
whole invitation to
Bye. I don't care about the whole your family's on your messenger. Bye.
How are you going to promote Los's Lounge? Didn't you just join X?
That part.
aren't you a big fan of me?
Unfortunately. Look at me. Social media. Bye. All right, yeah, please don't forget to follow me on social media at Let's Talk Podcast on Instagram and also on X. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. We're not done. We are almost done, but we're not done yet. I just want to, you know why? Because I feel like the older I get, I'm first of all, I only use Instagram. I just did the Twitter. I did Twitter 2 years ago. I got sucked into it. I hated it. It's a whole
Twitter
beast
is
in
whack.
itself. I tried to do a
Really?
TikTok for the show. I did create it, and within like 5 minutes, I was already like overstimulated. This is too much. This isn't for me. You can follow me on Instagram threads though, or Instagram Los Lounge Podcast _podcast. And don't forget to hit subscribe as we continue to give video content for the for the YouTube. This show is never gonna get picked up if I keep up this attitude. All right, keep it or cancel it. Dispensaries.
Keep it.
I don't care. I don't smoke weed, so I don't care either way.
What's going on? Let's start.
I mean,
The way of life. There's
I don't
dispensaries
like
everywhere.
I
God
work
made it for us.
Listen, I fear that I have an addictive personality. So before that is the station, we're gonna let it be.
Okay, I feel like Chris and I are definitely going to be friends because I also have the same thing. I feel like I have an addictive personality, so I've abstained from a lot of things in my life. I actually don't like smoke. When I was a kid, my sister, they thought she had skin cancer. My mom started smoking, like chain smoking. And then
Uh,
somebody who, and it's not weed, I know, but it's like somebody who smelled like mom started smelling like ashtray, and I have this aversion
yeah.
to smoke. So any type of smoke I can't stand. You want to give me a gummy? I'm good with it. I'll get a gummy with you. Keep it if you want your dispensaries. I'll support you. Or a brownie, but it's just smoke. I can't. So it's either way. But in order to support Los, in order to support Danielle, I say keep it.
Your mom started smoking to deal with your sister's skin cancer. Did she think she could get lung cancer and that would make her feel better? Like birds of a
Hispanic moms who grew up like in the 70s to, you know what I mean? Like that's a different breed of woman.
sure.
Okay? You don't argue.
Oh, Chris
Right now, you
knows,
do not argue with the
right? Because your
logic.
mom's Puerto Rican, right? Chris, both of your parents?
No, my dad's Puerto. My dad was Puerto Rican. My
Dad.
mom is Italian Russian. I'm a
Gotcha.
whole.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No,
Mixed
I
breed.
echo
Love it.
those Latino women in the 70s raised statement. Um, uh, I'm sorry, Mom.
Don't
Mom
talk
and I
about
were
my
talking.
mama.
Yeah, Mom, I hope I can share this story because you're gonna watch, but I won't say too much. But I remember being She said, "You remember when you disrespected my mother when we used to live on Plainfield Street and you were a little boy?" I said, "Hell yeah, I remember." Right afterwards, you picked up I don't know if it was a plate or a cup, a glass cup, and you chucked it at me. And what saved me was I was standing in the bathroom. There was a bathroom in the kitchen. There's the kitchen, and on the far corner, that's the entrance to the living room and there's a bedroom here. I remember standing between those two doors and like closing that bathroom door. Anyways, Mom, I've been traumatized ever since. And this is why I started sleeping with men, which brings me to my next thing. You have this crazy joke, Chris. Chris, every time I can, I say your joke because I love it. Do you want me to do it or do you want to do it? Because I
Never
feel like I don't do it any justice.
do it. Leave it to the pros. It's such a stupid joke. I haven't told it on stage in 3 years now. But basically, the joke is when I was doing stand up for a couple of years, to medium to none success. But I did stand up, and my favorite joke, I would do a whole bit about my dad, which like it was just about how my dad. I had a dad who was mostly absent, and when he was around, he was a jerk until the very end of his life. But anyway, when I was 15 years old, I told my dad that I wanted to be a singer, and he told me that singing was for girls, and I was devastated. And I was so devastated, in fact, that I started sleeping with men. That's a stupid joke. And then I used to, I would
No,
let,
finish it.
and I would say, I used to do this, and then I'd be on the microphone. And then I would say, "Oh, I bet you wish my mouth was on the microphone every night, don't you, Dad?" And
Yikes!
that was
Yo, that's wild, right? Happy Father's Day, motherfucker.
say my dad never got to see me on stage, but my
Oh,
mom did. She thought that was great. So, gotta,
Wow.
I use this joke, and whenever I do, I'll like message him. I'm gonna use your joke in like a public forum or something. I don't know. I just want to credit all creative license. Okay, I don't want to get sued, is what I'm saying. All right. All right, listen. Let's round this episode up. I do want to say that everybody can be found on social media if you want to share. So I'll start with Renzo. Oh, you have it on your desk. I know you do.
Oh, the book? Yeah. Yeah,
Pull it
it's
out, Renzo. Ooh. Still available now, available where books are sold. Hey, you can check it out on Amazon or your local bookstore if it's there. We want to support books because, in the name of Prince Rogers Nelson, as he once said, like books and Black lives, albums matter. And so does poetry. Still available now. Get it on Amazon. Hey, he's won awards over it. He's the poet that knows it. And do you drink Moet?
Hmm?
I know it's a throwback and random ass question, but
What? I didn't
like
hear
when
it.
you drink, what do you drink?
I used to drink a lot, and then I went like 8 years without drinking, and then I started dating somebody, a French girl I met in France. So you can't date a French girl and not drink wine. And now I kind of just do it for like tastings or anything like that. But when I'm drinking like with friends, which is not, I kind of stopped it because it starts messing with your health. You get a little bloated. You get a little bloated.
Little acid, little acid.
No, bourbon. I'm a bourbon guy typically.
Ah,
Old fashions,
classy.
bourbon, Vesper martinis because of my unhealthy James Bond obsession. That
Oh,
sort of
Ah.
thing.
so sophisticated. I love it.
Oh, she's in a trance. She's like Renzo. And this is why Renzo is part of the show. I'm the sloppy Joe, and he's the fucking filet mignon wrapped in
I
bacon.
love it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got
yeah,
your
yeah.
Smirnoff Ice, grape Smirnoff Ice. I have my
Oh
Vesper
shit, I just
martini.
had
It's
one
all good,
yesterday.
man.
You shut your mouth, man. I had the red, white, and blue, but it's the blue, the 4th of July like flavor type, whatever. Don't
The
judge me.
firecracker? You got the
Yeah,
firecracker.
the firecracker, it was so good. I didn't know, but then I felt like shit afterwards because I'm like, all this sugar and all this
Yeah.
malt.
Yeah.
God. Madonna. Last question for the game, and then we'll close out this show.
Is this a keep it or cancel?
No, we're moving. I moved it on.
Oh, you moved on.
They've tried
Okay.
to cancel her
They
for
didn't
4 years.
he gave a promo for my book and then I think he was gonna let us promote whatever on social
Oh
media.
Okay.
shit. Thank you for being such a wonderful co-pilot and all this. Chris, tell the world where they can find you. First of all, tune into the Sherry Shepherd Show. I'm not being promoted or paid for. I'm not being paid for this promotion. But turn on your TV. She out there. My favorite Sherry Shepherd moment, and we're gonna get to Chris, is on Friends. That's how I was introduced. You remember Friends? Like when she was on Friends with she worked at the
She played Rhonda.
Oh, okay.
She played Rhonda.
Rhonda. And
But then
these are my breasts or aren't my breasts or whatever. Anyways, shout out to Sherry Shepherd, mad love. Go ahead, Chris. Tell them where they can find you if you want
you,
to be followed.
you can follow me. It's my first and last name, which nobody will ever get, but my name is Chris, spelled the normal way, Chris. My last name is Tourette's, which sounds like Tourette's with an S. It's Siretz. So Chris Tourette's, you can find me on Instagram, is where I'm most active. And wherever, just add me. I don't care. Add me. I'm around.
Iretz. Give them some respect on TV. Come on, Sherry. Hey,
Hmm.
speaking of TV, I don't
My
think they
God.
understand because if we're gonna start talking about protecting Black women, let's start right here too.
Man,
Listen, Free Wendy Williams. All right, we'll trade you Kanye.
please take
We'll
them.
even give you back Britney.
Wow. Between the Britney and the Beyonce shade this hour,
I'm just saying.
I don't
I'm
know if
just
this
saying.
episode.
Actually, we'll trade you the 50 Republicans who voted for the bill
For the bill.
and the 6 Supreme Court justices that voted that the US can send people to countries that don't have nothing to do allegedly. I saw that. I reposted it.
Yeah.
I had to do a little research to make sure, but you can find that out. Give them to Sabrina Morrissey. And let me tell you, Sabrina, until you don't do right by Wendy, ain't no good gonna come to you and Bernie Young.
All
Shout out
right.
to
Wait.
I'm just saying, shout out to Alex Finney, shout out to the family, shout out to little Kev. I'm mad. I feel like I'm like I need to smoke to calm down. All right, Los's Lounge podcast. Hey, Danielle, do you want to be followed? Danielle is a little bit more reserved, so I don't know. The killer's out there. If anything that Wendy taught us, the killer is out there.
I mean, I'm not really that important, but if you want to follow
He's
me,
important to me.
oh, I love you so much.
Mm.
I usually post dance videos. Avid dancer here. I am an AAU mom. I have three boys and a girl that I usually post
Oh.
because I love them so
And,
much.
and the
Uh,
Mister is a musical talent. I mean,
yes,
let's
my
just put some
husband
respect. Yeah,
does have
can I brag on him real quick? Can I just cut you off? Perfect. I'm gonna
fire
cut
away.
you off. So, if you're in the Western Mass area or the Connecticut area, please check out the sounds of Mulatto. How is it spelled?
Malado.
Thank you very much. Her husband is he the musical director
Yes, he's actually
and
the
the drummer?
founder. He's
He's
the
the
founder.
founder. It's
Mhm.
his show, it's his lounge. Check them out in the area. They play wonderfully. In fact, I know this because I've seen this, I've heard them live, and I don't know if he still does or not, but my homie Gustavo is one of their guitarists, their
Yep.
rotating guitarist, and he's a beast on the guitar. In fact,
Yeah, he
Gustavo and
is.
I work together at VCare and have been friends for many years. In any case, so check out the music and sounds of Mulatto. Danielle, let me tell you, Danielle and I will end this on a heartfelt thing. Do you remember the argument we had in Mr. Boizo's class? We were sitting next to each other. I forgot who was. Oh, I remember who was next to us. It was Damien. Rest in peace, Damien. The light skinned Damien, not Damien. Who's the light skinned fellow from your class that passed away during the
A lot of
pandemic?
people passed away.
Tall, popular.
Dexter.
Dexter, God bless him. It was Dexter. It was Dexter. You had on a red. I remember this vividly. You had on your red Nike windbreaker jacket that you used to always wear. It might not have been Nike, or it may have been Tommy Hilfiger, whatever.
I think it was a
And
time.
we got into like a little brief tit for tat argument, but it ended with, "So I'll call you later." Yes, please do. And then he started laughing because he's like, "What the fuck did I just
What's
witness?
that?
These two are like two cats and dogs." And it ends like this. It's random. It's a stupid memory, but I remember it. You guys, you have to put up with me for an hour. She's been dealing with this since I was 16. All right. So, listen, to close it out, I just want to say that I came, I lounged. I may have overshared. If you were offended, fabulous. That means you should come back for another episode. Chris is like, where's he going with this? Renzo, don't forget to get his book. Chris, thank you for doing it again. Danielle, you've been with me the longest. Thank you for doing it with me. Does anyone have any final thoughts?
Last time I was on, you said that you were going to get me to, the next time I came on, you were going to let me chat with Antonio Biaggi, and you still haven't. So that's my final thought. And I'm still, that was 2 years ago, 3 years, I'm still mad about it. So there's
Yo,
my,
big shout out to Antonio Biaggi, who is a hot motherfucker. If you're wondering who Antonio Biaggi is, first of all, you can check out the previous episodes of him on Los's Lounge. Yes, Chris is 100% correct. Antonio Biaggi is my favorite gay porn star, film adult star. Um, Fabulous. I mean, I can continue on to describe his anatomy for you guys if you're interested in this moment.
doesn't need to be all that. I just was promised that the next time I stopped by, he would be on, and I yet to see him, unless he's my big surprise guest at the last hour.
To this minute, we're on a deserted island. Renzo, cover your ears. It's about to get gay or gayer than what it's been. Jesus Christ, help us all.
I'm
Deserted
intrigued. We'll
island.
continue.
Deserted island, right? And the four of us are kicking it. All of a sudden, Antonio walks in. This is the part of the night where I look at the both of you, Renzo and Danielle, and say, "You two motherfuckers, go for a walk." Let me just bust down, Tatiana. Chris, I want you to watch. Ew. Ew. No, nothing. Horish, too horish. I don't know. Gay Pride just passed. Whatever. Fire Island and all that stuff. Hey, everybody. This is Los's Lounge Podcast. Season 4 continues. Thank you to my traumatized panel of guest co-hosts. Renzo, do you have a final thought before we say goodbye? I'll shut
No, I
up
was
now.
just grateful to have met Danielle and Chris today. Always a pleasure to chat with you, brother. Thank you for having me on the lounge. Thank you for always being a champion for my work and always giving the shout outs. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. I'll hold you down till my last breath, my brother. You're doing some poetry work in Miami coming up. There's one that I reposted recently. Let's talk about that real
Yeah.
quick before we go.
It's so one of the things that I love doing is building community. So through the Miami Poetry Club and the poetry scene in Miami is kind of exploding now, which
Yeah.
I'm happy to be around for that. And then there's a lot of new poets coming out and starting their own open mic. So I'm going to support Pop Up Poetry's open mic in Bargene in Miami. That is uh, next Saturday, July 19th, I think.
Okay.
Someday,
Yes.
someday soon.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up, but I'm gonna go support them. So I'm a featured poet along with some friends of mine from the community, and it's just a good time. Go up there, read some poetry, try to connect with other people, just inspire other people to read poetry. You're gonna find things that I don't know. I go have a dinner party and somebody comes up to me, oh, you write poetry? I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we have a conversation and they say, oh, it's too intimidating for me or what? And I lose my shit. I'm like, no, and you should read this poet or you should read that poet. You know, like if you don't like Emily Dickinson, try Rupi Kaur, right? Like there's such a spectrum. And afterwards I get like texts a week later saying, oh my God, this is great. Do you have any other recommendations? Because poetry is art. And as I've told you many times before, developing a relationship with art, it develops an analytical relationship between you and an object. And by definition, you see it through different perspectives, which breeds empathy, which is what we've talked about early on the show, which is what we sorely need in the world right now. More art, more
Thank you,
empathy,
all that.
more connection.
Do you see why he's on this fucking show?
I
I would
fucking love
never say
him.
that. I would never say that. Do you hear the shit that comes out of my mouth?
I'm just
I'm
like,
ready to do fart jokes over here still.
You can make fart jokes. We could use a
But
few.
it's a tough act to follow.
If they rhyme.
Thank you guys for the support. You know what? You guys are more supportive. Thank you guys. No, I see you. You know what? It would do all of us an honor if you could take us out on a beautiful poem, please, and thank you.
Does anybody else have any final thoughts? I actually just wrote one, which I'm happy to read if you want me to read.
Floor says what?
yeah, go ahead.
Yo, fuck that poem. No, I'm joking. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. All right,
By the way,
so
guys, I individually love you and collectively thank you for doing this again tonight. Go
Love
ahead,
you too.
Renzo, take us there.
all right, so this poem is called Pocket Crimes, and it's a bop. A bop is a poem that was created in the 2000s, sometime in the mid 2000s by Afa. I forgot his last name. And it's a three stanza poem with a refrain. It normally presents a problem, expands on the problem, and then either talks about the failed solution or the resolution of the problem. So this one is called Pocket Crimes. Fear rules this country. Consensus is the census shows we're filled to the brim with undesirables, stealing time, wasting wine, and shelling dimes. These pocket crimes against humanity judged by the inhumane, retribution from those who rig the game. The streets scream in silence with the damned. We come to their jobs because they refuse to work. We cage them in to safeguard our borders. We spend billions. We bankrupt to protect. We defend the Constitution by denying due process. We kidnap the innocent to target criminals. We feel so safe right now. Everything is fine. We feel. We feel nothing. We feel so safe right now. The streets scream in silence with the damned. In the darkness, a siren delivers a cantata. Progress is extinct, and I keep my gaze low, eyes fixed on the shackles, the stars, a distant memory. Light years away, uninformed uniforms march around our golden boar, tripping over themselves in worship. The streets scream in silence with the damned.
Yes.
My
Wrote a
girlfriend told me
poem
not to read
too.
this out loud, so
That
anyway,
was
here you
really
go.
good. You know what the beautiful thing is that it really connects to everything that we spoke about today, right? So I know that
That's why I just wrote
yeah,
it and I thought,
you,
what the hell? We
fabulous,
talked about
dude.
all this stuff.
Yeah, fabulous way to I I too have wrote a poem if I can share
Oh
with you.
shit.
About a man from Nantucket. I know it.
I used to be scared of the dick. Now I throw lips to that shit and handle it like a real bitch. Heather Hunter, Janet Jackson, nip it in the butt. Yeah, Dad. What? Damn. All right, season four, and that's how we're gonna wrap this up. I have long. Shout out to Little Kim. Renzo, thanks for putting up with me again. You guys, individually, I love you. Collectively, I can't thank you enough for tonight. Season four, Moses Lounge podcast still is the book you're gonna get. Sherry Shepherd Show is the show you're gonna watch. Somebody started GoFundMe for Danielle's therapy after
Please
this. She might not come back.
book my husband. Please. We need money. We're poor over here. Please.
Oh my God. Please stay safe. Please stay loud. And remember, if the world's gonna screw you, at least ask for lube and a playlist. Good night, everybody. Wait, don't you guys don't leave yet. I'm just gonna stop the recording. Hold on.